It was a chilling night, the kind that sends shivers down your spine, even if you're wrapped in a thick coat. I had heard the stories about the haunted bus that came to life at 3 a.m., but like most people in the town, I thought they were nothing more than urban legends. Little did I know that tonight I would come face to face with the cursed vehicle. I was walking back home from a late-night shift at the diner, exhausted but eager to get some rest. The clock on my phone read 2:50 a.m., and I quickened my pace. As I turned the corner onto Elm Street, I saw it. The old rusted bus that everyone in town talked about was parked at the intersection. Its windows were shattered, and the paint was peeling, giving it a sinister appearance under the pale moonlight. I could hear the soft creaking of the bus as it swayed gently in the breeze. My heart raced, and my curiosity got the better of me. I had to see if the stories were true. I approached cautiously, my footsteps echoing in the stillness of the night. Just as I reached the bus, the door slowly creaked open. A cold wind rushed out, sending a shiver down my spine. I peered inside, and to my horror, the bus was filled with passengers. They were all dressed in outdated clothes, staring blankly ahead. I mustered up the courage to speak. "Hello? Is anyone there?" No response. The air was thick with an eerie silence, and I took a hesitant step onto the bus. The driver's seat was empty, but the engine roared to life on its own. The bus jerked forward, and I stumbled into a seat next to a young woman. She had pale skin and deep, dark eyes that seemed to hold a secret. I tried to engage her in conversation. "What's going on here? Who are you all?" She turned her gaze towards me, and her voice was a soft whisper. "We're trapped souls, stuck on this bus forever. It comes to life at 3 a.m. to collect more lost souls." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. The bus was a prison for the departed, and I had unwittingly joined their spectral ranks. As the bus continued to drive through the deserted streets, I struck up conversations with some of the other passengers. Each had their own tragic tale of how they had ended up on the haunted bus. There was a young man who had been murdered, an elderly woman who had died alone, and a child who had perished in a terrible accident. Despite our diverse backgrounds and experiences, we all shared one thing in common, an overwhelming sense of sadness and regret. We longed for the peace that had eluded us in life. The bus carried us through the heart of the town, passing by familiar places that now seemed distant memories. We watched the world outside through shattered windows, knowing we could never return. As the bus approached a desolate graveyard, the passengers began to weep softly. The driver's seat turned slowly to reveal a spectral figure. It was a man, dressed in a conductor's uniform, his face twisted in anguish. He spoke with a mournful tone. "Welcome to your final destination, my dear passengers. This graveyard is where your souls shall rest for all eternity." The bus came to a halt, and one by one the passengers disembarked. I looked back at the young woman I had spoken to earlier, and she gave me a sad smile before disappearing into the darkness. As I stepped off the bus and onto the cold, damp earth, I felt a profound sense of sorrow and acceptance. I had joined the ranks of the haunted souls, forever condemned to roam the night in search of more lost spirits to fill the cursed bus. And so, the haunted bus at 3 a.m. continued its eternal journey, a vessel of crime, suspense, horror, and love, carrying the souls of the departed to their sad and final resting place. As I stood among the other lost souls, I couldn't help but wonder if someday someone else would stumble upon the bus, just as I had, and unwittingly join our spectral ranks.